What if I told you America's most powerful politicians have sometimes been taken down, not by tough opponents or shocking secrets, but by scandals so ridiculous you could swear they're ripped straight out of a sitcom? Forget about dry history books. These are the stories of hiding bribe money in freezers, live TV meltdowns, creative excuses, and social media disasters that left the whole country wondering, did that really just happen? Get ready, because some of these stories are so unbelievable you won't know whether to laugh or cry. Welcome back to Factual America, where we uncover the stories that make the United States so fascinating, strange, and, let's be honest, downright entertaining. Today, we're diving deep into America's most hilarious and sometimes outrageous political scandals. You'll hear about politicians caught red-handed in the most absurd ways, unbelievable cover-ups, and headlines that turned serious business into national punchlines. Plus, stick around to the end for one scandal that changed the way politicians and regular folks use the internet forever. All right, let's hit the campaign trail, starting with a scandal that is literally chilling. Picture this: Congressman William Jefferson from Louisiana, 2005. Investigators hit his house looking for evidence of corruption. They search high and low until they check his kitchen freezer. What do they find? $90,000 in cold, hard cash wrapped up like leftovers. His explanation? He said he was just safekeeping the evidence. I guess he wanted to make sure the money stayed fresh. Crack open the next case: Washington, D.C.'s own Mayor Marion Barry. In 1990, the FBI filmed him actually smoking crack cocaine in a hotel room in a sting operation. As officers burst through the door, Barry yelled out, "Set me up!" a line that became so famous, it's still part of local legend. You'd think that would be the end of the line, right? But proving that American politics really can be stranger than fiction, Barry went on to win re-election. Only in America can a public downfall turn into a winning political comeback tour. Moving to the age of social media, nothing brought slapstick into the digital age quite like Representative Anthony Weiner's 2011 scandal. He posted let's say, revealing photo on his public Twitter account, then claimed he'd been hacked. As more evidence emerged and late-night comedians went wild, it became obvious this was no hacking job. This bizarre saga introduced a new word, sexting, to American politics, and ensured that every politician got really careful about their social media posts. It changed political communications forever. Now, if you think unfortunate missteps are a new thing, think again. Remember Watergate? It wasn't just the mother of all scandals, it's the original root of every gate that's followed since. Back in the early 70s, President Nixon's team broke into the Democratic National Committee's office at the Watergate complex. The cover-up, the lies, and Nixon's famous line, "I am not a crook," turned a serious moment into the gold standard for American scandal. From Deflategate to Bridgegate, every disaster since has tried to live up to Watergate's absurdity. For a darker slice of comedy, meet Rod Blagojevich, Illinois governor and, unofficially, the worst salesman in politics. When Barack Obama became president in 2008, Illinois had to fill his Senate seat. Blagojevich was caught on tape saying, "I've got this thing, and it's bleeping golden, and I'm just not giving it up for nothing." Yes, you heard that right. He tried to sell a Senate seat. The price? 14 years behind bars and a lifetime of late-night TV jokes. Not to be outdone, South Carolina Governor Mark Sanford went hiking the Appalachian Trail, or so his staff said. Turns out Sanford was actually in Argentina visiting his mistress. The phrase, hiking the Appalachian Trail, instantly became American shorthand for politicians caught cheating. Bonus laughs for the fact that nobody thought to check his passport first. Onward to the saga of Duncan Hunter, a California congressman and his wife who got busted for spending campaign funds on everything except the campaign. Think extravagant vacations, video games, and even plane tickets for their family's pet rabbit. When it all unraveled, their defense was to blame each other. Marital unity, 0. Headline value, a solid 10. Let's talk local flavor, because some regions seem to specialize in political comedy. Chicago, for example, has produced so many indicted officials that people joke about forming a softball team out of ex-governors. In the early 2000s, Governor George Ryan went down for racketeering, bribery, and tax fraud, once again putting the wind in Windy City politics. Remember Vice President Dan Quayle? In one unforgettable moment, he suggested a brave elementary school kid add an E to potato in a spelling bee. Suddenly, potato was a national meme, turning every vegetable tray into a punchline. Then there's Bridgegate in New Jersey, when aides to Governor Chris Christie shut down lanes on the George Washington Bridge as political payback. The result? Days of paralyzing traffic, hundreds of angry commuters, and a stack of emails the size of the bridge itself. For commuters, it was agony. For comedians, gold. Some scandals are jaw-dropping simply for their brazenness. Former Alaska Senator Ted Stevens let home improvement go way too far, accepting $250,000 in gifts from contractors, including renovations on his house, a deck, and a generator. His defense? He thought it was just a nice gesture. Must be nice. How about the notorious coffin birthday cake in Kentucky, where a county judge executive took bribes disguised as cakes delivered to his office? Next time you see a cake at a government meeting, you might want to check for extra frosting or cash. And while we can't forget the infamous Socks the Cat scandal, where the Clinton White House took heat for funding holiday cards featuring Bill and Hillary Clinton's cat, for many Americans, these blend the ridiculous with the real, showing that sometimes even the White House gets sidetracked by the silliest things. So, why do we keep seeing stories like these? Maybe it's because America's freedom of the press means more gets uncovered. Maybe it's because the pressures of power lead to some really odd decisions. Or maybe, like the rest of us, our leaders just have a knack for finding trouble and hoping they don't get caught on camera. Either way, these scandals keep us entertained, keep the late-night monologues lively, and remind all of us that beneath the suits and campaign slogans, American politicians are just as human and hilarious as anyone else. Now it's your turn. What's the most absurd political scandal you remember? Was it a classic TV moment, a bizarre excuse, or a headline so wild you had to read it twice? Leave your answer in the comments. I'd love to put together a sequel with your favorite stories. And if you got a good laugh today, please give us a like, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell so you never miss an episode of Factual America. We dive deep into the real and really weird side of American life every single week. Thanks for joining me on this tour through America's political Hall of Fame, or maybe Hall of Shame. Until next time, remember, in America, the scandals are big, but the punchlines are even bigger. See you on the next episode.